No profanity.
No profanity. What's your profanity? Here we go. Hello and welcome to Over Little and another episode of our video podcast Off the Rails. My name is Dan, and once again, as always, I'm joined by Matt.
Good evening, everybody.
And Billy.
Hiya.
And today we are joined by a special guest, Danielle Nicholls, who is the Digital Content Executive for Drayton Manor.
Hi.
Hello, thanks for joining us. So, as I always say, how's everyone's week been, Matt?
Yeah, it's been very nice. I'm in the middle of my exams at the moment, but I did manage to squeeze a couple of hours at Alton Towers this afternoon, so I'm a happy bunny.
Brilliant. What about you, Billy?
It's been good. I went to Towers on Monday and obviously went to Drayton Manor last Thursday. So it's been a theme park filled week for me, which I like. So yeah.
Brilliant. What about you, Danielle? You had a good week, busy week?
Yeah, it's not been too bad. Very luckily that I go to every day, pretty much. If I'm not there for work, I'm there at the weekend, so I'm pretty lucky in that. But yeah, things are advancing at Adventure Cove, which has been exciting this week. So
Whoa.
Nice.
Whoa. There we go. This is going to be good. Okie dokie then. Right, well, without further ado, let's get started, people.
So, firstly, what inspired you to become a digital content executive, and what does the role actually entail for us laymen, really?
I think the title digital content executive isn't really something that I was inspired or looking for, if I'm honest. I knew that I wanted to work in the attractions industry, and I knew that I wanted to, essentially marketing is persuading others to take part, to purchase something that you are passionate about. So combining the two made perfect sense for me, to be honest. Started off after I graduated in 2017, I think it was, with media marketing from Leeds Trinity. Billy will know that. Then from there, I went into a travel agency in York, Super Break, which is sadly no more. They suffered situation, so I went into administration, unfortunately. But I worked there for about a year, it was, working on all sorts of projects from print to email. So all of the brochures that you would see in the travel agencies, UK, overseas, and then a couple of other kind of like groups and things like that. I worked in a small team collating all the content for those, copywriting, finding the images, kind of the page design, pagination, etc. And that took up a bulk of our time there. And then we did other things like direct mails and door drops. So very print heavy. The audience there were kind of 65 plus, so your older kind of empty nesters, and they wanted something physical. They wanted it in their hands. We did emails as well, but that just kind of complemented the full marketing mix. Then from there, I saw the job advertised at Drayton, marketing officer, and I thought, I've got to jump at this chance. I'd been kind of advertising attractions, including Drayton Manor, as part of my role at Super Break, because we sold tickets to those attractions, kind of similar to how you see attraction ticks and places like that. So I'd kind of already done it a little bit, so I dipped my toes in there, but I thought I need to jump. So I moved from York to Tamworth just for this role. I was very lucky to get the role, so I did move across, and started as marketing officer for, it was about a year I did that role for, which was a very 360 marketing role. Did a little bit of everything, offline, digital, print, kind of like copy for the signage around the park, a little bit of everything, campaign planning as well. But then also I did look at kind of social web and the digital side to it. But then in March, when COVID kind of started acting the industry, we realised that the digital landscape was where we needed to be. So my role was evolved into digital content exec. Within this role, I look at social, both organic and paid. So the organic is primarily done in-house, whereas the paid side to it, we work with an agency to kind of deliver that. So they look after the technical side of setting it up, etc. And I will send through the content, so the copy, any images, video, etc. So we kind of work alongside them. Then also website. So everything from setting up the pages, any content, copy, images on the site, the whole kind of UX. So the guest experience and the user journey throughout there. How many clicks is it to them landing on the page to then being able to book a ticket, things like that as well. And then recently we have worked with Attractions.io to create a new app, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with Attractions.io. They look at,
yeah, just a little bit.
yeah. So we want them to create a app which is kind of like a map, but then we also use it for things like push notifications. Next week we're going to be using it for like a Love Your Zoo Week trail and things like that. So it's much more digital to avoid the need for physical printed maps, because not only is it more cost effective, but everyone pretty much is going to have a mobile. You can update it quicker, things like that.
Brilliant. That's very interesting. That is very interesting to find out, how you got to that position. My question would be, how do you go about creating and generating ideas for projects and stuff like that? What's kind of your creative mindset?
I will be honest, it's a bit dull. You first sit down and you think, right, I need social content for the next month, for example. And you're like, oh my gosh. So I tend to try and break it down. So I start looking on what commercial pressures we've got. So do we need to sell stay and play packages? Have we got anything exciting, any events coming up that month? Things like, have we got any new deals like for F&B, so for restaurants and outlets, things like that. But then also look at things like, have we got any new animals in the zoo? Maybe that's about. And from there, I tend to try and plot them as topics into like a calendar from there. And then once they're in as topics, pull them and think, right, how will I talk about that on this platform or this platform? Because the way that you push out a message on Facebook may be completely different to how you would on TikTok, for example. And sometimes messages don't work across the board. So Facebook is more kind of salesy post, whereas TikTok, as I say, is video, heavy, very short captions. Twitter is more about flexing that kind of tone of voice and being really engaging and building that community. So it really depends where you want your message pushed out and how you're going to push it out, really optimizing that content per the channel. And from there, you look at kind of what media alongside that message. So is a video best? Is it a GIF? Do I need to consult with our in-house design team to get some kind of visuals created, or do I just need to pick up the camera and get out into the park and get some shots? It really does depend. A lot of the content that we create is done in-house. So like I mentioned, we've got the in-house designer. We work very closely with him to create a lot of the stuff. But then also we've got recently some quite high quality media gear where I can just pick it up, head out, create a video, get some images together, get it all onto Adobe, edit it however we feel necessary. Sometimes there'll be instances where we reach out to videographers or photographers for like the more long form content. So for example, stay and play, and that staycation market is booming at the moment. So we need a video. So we reached out to someone like that. Things like I'm not sure if you saw the COVID memo.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
With that to get that out there. And they did a really good job because it's a piece of content that we're going to be using throughout the year. COVID aren't really going to be going away just yet. So we knew. And then it's planning do we need any budget for that? Or can we just do it in the house, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice. My question is one that I'm very interested to know is, what's your favourite project that you've worked on whilst being at Drayton Manor?
First one would be the 70th anniversary takeover week.
Yeah.
Last season, typical that it was 2020, but we celebrated the 70th anniversary of Drayton. So in the end, it was in April, but obviously lockdown prevented us doing any activity for that. So we pushed it into July and did a full week where every single day the content was. So we started in kind of like when it first opened all those years ago, like black and white pictures and things like that, and then evolved it into kind of like the present day throughout the week.
Yeah.
The apocalypse advert that everyone knows, and I don't know if you've ever seen the fun advert and the typical,
yeah,
which received quite a lot of engagement. And then right at the end of the week, we did Food Friday competition, which always seemed to do really well in terms of engagement and reach. But this one was particularly successful. We managed to get hashtag Drayton Manor 70 trending on Twitter.
Wow.
Nice. That is really good.
Fantastic.
So I was really pleased with that. It was close second to Adventure Cove because it's so exciting. And it's my first launch. I've been with nearly 3 years now, and it's no secret that Drayton struggled a little bit over the years and seen not as much investment as maybe we would like. So this is really, it's looping, kind of coming in with a bang and saying, look. And it is really exciting.
It's going to be amazing to actually to see it, because when we came down, we obviously thought, oh, let's go and have a little nosy, and we got on the train and got our cameras out.
Exactly. We was like, that would be the best bet. Just get on the train and you'll get a good view.
So, is there anything that you can tell us about Adventure Cove, and like how exciting of a project is it for you to be involved in? Because as enthusiasts and the theme park community, we are all so excited to see Drayton get the love that it actually deserves.
Yes.
I think the thing that's important to remember about Drayton as well is it's not going to be getting a B&M hyper. It's not a thrill orientated. It's not a thought.
Now you tell us.
No, sorry. It's really focusing on that family audience and that family thrill. So something for everybody that's visiting, but kind of that middle-aged child, kind of up to early teens is important. So Adventure Cove will really encompass that and bring it into Drayton. So as you know, we've got the River Rapids that will be reopening. All new experience, which is really exciting. Like a maritime fishing port. So if you picture Popeye at Universal, very similar vibe, very bright and vibrant colours, etc. So that's exciting. Then we've got Tidal Towers, which you probably saw when you came last week, which is like a play area.
Yeah, we did.
So that looks really cool. It's a lot. I remember I walked down when they were installing it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a lot taller than I thought it was going to be, and it's very heavily, which and then we've got another edition, which is yet to be announced, but is very exciting.
That's good.
So yeah, keep an eye for teasers and things like that coming up. And then the whole area is just having a complete refresh. To really, as you probably saw, Shockwave building had.
It's beautiful. I love it.
The music was so good. I totally didn't fall over dancing.
He did. I put it on TikTok. Everybody can see it now.
Is it on there?
Yeah.
Shut up! You didn't. You're fired.
Well, I mean, it's going to be in the vlog anyway. There's no way we can't take it out.
I was looking to the queue line for River Rapids today as well. And honestly, it just felt like I was at another park. It's insane. Like embarrassingly, it made me quite emotional because I thought,
oh no, that's nice.
It is.
I get emotional when I go to work and you hear the music and you're walking over the bridge with everyone else, with the guests, the music's going, everyone's taking pictures. My heart just kind of, it just jumps. It's like, oh, this is so nice. It's a feeling that you're so used to, going there and knowing that you're actually part of it.
Yeah.
It's a whole new dynamic.
Delivering that guest experience, and we've got a bit of a slogan at Drayton, creating fun family memories, and like we really do give that to families, and it's great.
It's great. I mean, it was great to see all Matt, Dan, and Sanya, but it was just great because obviously it was the first time I went to Drayton.
Yeah, it was my first time.
Matt was like Matt's first time in a while. So yeah, it was just great. And fanning the hidden gem of Shockwave was just it was so fun.
I tell you now, the others will back me up on this. What was I like when we went on it for the first time?
I didn't want to go on. I did not want to go on.
I mean, that was probably, we couldn't see anything when we were on it because of the rain.
That was.
It was very rainy.
I screamed so much. I mean, I'll try anything that kind of comes with the territory, but that, I tell you now, is the most bizarre experience of my life. It's so unnatural to be stood up.
Yeah.
And that was just bizarre. But my favourite ride of the day had to be Stormforce 10. That was brilliant.
Even though you went really quiet after it.
No, I didn't. No, I wasn't expecting to get that wet, to be honest.
Yeah, I
was not happy.
Going on that says you will get wet, you may get soaking, and
I didn't see any of that. And what made it more embarrassing was it was my idea to get everyone to go on it.
Yeah, it was.
And then I was the one that come off absolutely drenched. I know Matt didn't do too well either, but
no, I'm only just wearing my trousers. My trousers were so wet that I think they were wet for 3 days afterwards.
It was good fun.
It is. Me and Dan did get a little bit scared before we went on Apocalypse. Just
hang on.
Tiny.
Why don't we say what actually happened? Sanya and Matt had already gone down to the gate and were about to get on, and Billy goes, "Let's just leave, and then we'll wait for them to come off." So I found myself trotting back over the thing with him, and Sanya and Matt were like, "Come back!"
They were like, "Wait, what are you doing?"
No, I tell you now, that is probably my favourite drop tower that I've ever been on.
Good.
I absolutely loved it. I preferred standing up, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
Really enjoyed that.
The tilting just makes it a million times better.
What would you say is your favourite attraction at the park, Danielle?
Yeah.
I do like Maelstrom. I don't think you can really beat Maelstrom, to be honest.
It is good.
Dead against flat rides, and I thought, I know that they add to guest experience and they're great for people to experience, a bit of a filler, but to me it was always just a bit of a filler until and I thought, nah, completely changed my perception on it. So yeah, I'd probably say Maelstrom.
But it is good. I mean, that was my most anticipated ride because I just keep on hearing people saying how great it is and how every park needs a Intamin gyro swing. So yeah, it is fun.
We were supposed to be doing it last year, but then a thing called COVID came along.
Talking about COVID, how did you all kind of adapt? Because I know you talked about how it went more digital, but what did you do to get people back into the park after the lockdown?
So I was furloughed for a little while during lockdown, so in June of 2020, and then all of November. And then in January, February, I was flexi furlough. So I was working at first a couple of hours and then a couple of days. And then kind of in March, when I returned back to the office full time, which was the best day. It was so exciting. We all getting in, we were like, but during the, I guess, closed season of COVID.
The very, very, very long closed season.
We used it as a bit of admin time, to be honest, to really catch up on everything. So we onboarded a new CRM and social platform, which was a lot of fun, with a lot of technical kind of side to it. Incorporated in that, we set up a new chatbot for Facebook Messenger. Wow. So a bit easier to go in there now, and it kind of helps manage the messages from our perspective as well. because that's managed by ourselves, but then the guest services team as well.
Yeah.
So you can click a button and it'll give you, fire off a link or like a helpful message to see if it can help you straight away before it gets to an agent. It's very easy to get to an agent so that the guest and the user isn't getting frustrated. But we spent a bit of time setting that up. We also set up a new social media tone of voice document, because it's always been something in the back of our minds, and we've always kind of known that tone of voice and social is very important, but I'd never kind of written it down and created a formal document for it. So spent some time kind of putting that together, some do's and don'ts, some examples. And since we've been back, we've really started to utilize that, particularly on Twitter. If maybe you've noticed, Twitter's kind of engagement wise really starting to flourish.
Yeah.
I do reply to as much as I can, whether it's positive feedback, negative reviews, or just a general kind of random anecdote about Drayton. We respond to anything that we can on there is really important, just because it helps build that community on there. But also on Facebook and Instagram, it's important on there as well. TikTok really took off over COVID. During COVID. So I set one of those up, and I've been really trying to bring that to life a little bit more, because I think it's really engaging, not necessarily for commercial sales point of view. It's more for building that brand awareness and, like I mentioned, building that community on there. So a lot of kind of memes, a little bit of dancing, but nothing. that kind of thing, some cute animals.
We need to get some dancing on our TikTok as well.
Yeah, okay, next subject, please.
It's only because we love you dancing, really.
Yeah. It was,
you know, it always ends with injury.
In terms of back into the park after COVID, though, I think people were really eager to have a day out again.
100%.
They'd been locked in the houses for so long. It's one of those things, isn't it, where you're in one place for so long, you just want to get out, your kids are bored, they've played enough video games, they've done enough Zoom quizzes, and they just wanted to get out. So we actually did quite well when we first opened. I think we sold out every weekend for about 3 weeks.
That's great. That's well good.
That is really impressive.
Yeah.
We're actually getting really close to selling out for this weekend as well. So
yeah.
Quite.
Everyone that's watching, go and book your tickets now.
Yeah, everybody needs to go.
Just go and visit the
great.
park.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing quite okay, I think.
The day and May half term.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, so the videos that we're using for those adverts at the moment is the TV advert that we've currently got from, I think it was only 2019. We've got one of dancing to, it's like, I just do what I do. Another one of original track. So what we do for those is I will edit separate versions of those TV adverts into the different sizes that channels, overlay the May half term kind of ID onto there, provide any kind of content, copy, etc. that they'll put on there, and then the agency that we work alongside will then upload it and do all the technical side to set it up.
Wow, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I like all that kind of stuff.
As Danielle knows, I study media at the moment, and as both of you know, I'm a social media coordinator. My dream role is to do marketing at a theme park. So what I want to ask is, do you have any tips for people who are looking to delve into the attractions industry in the kind of marketing world of it, and how they can get started?
Yeah, to be honest, I would start with LinkedIn. I think it's really important to build that network. So when I was in your position at Trinity, I spent a lot of time perfecting my LinkedIn profile and making sure it was really optimized, and then reaching out to different theme park and attraction professionals advice. So a couple of people from Legoland, a couple of people from Merlin, like headquarters in Poole, and really got as much advice as I could on what it is they're looking for in a marketeer. So that really helped. And then something as well that I would suggest is build a portfolio. So some content examples, maybe some blogs that you've written. A lot of the stuff that you do here for your channel is great as well, because it really shows that passion and enthusiasm, and get that all put together. Read like blogs and articles from experts and sign up to like webinars and newsletters and things like that to really get your head into that commercial side to it, because writing the content and creating the kind of media side to it is all well and good, but you need to have that commercial side and understanding as well, that content that is going out is going to do X, Y, and Z. It's going to generate this much revenue, which is going to return this ROI, and really trying to understand that is important as well. There's a lot of courses that you can do for free, which go alongside your studies at uni, which I think are important. Things like HubSpot Academy. During furlough, I did a couple of courses there. It's like a social media, email marketing, things like that, which all really, really helped. But then one thing that I would really say would be quite cool, just to kind of add that uniqueness to the branding of you, I guess you'd say, is to learn basic skills in like Adobe Creative Cloud, and then things like photography, videography, just so that when you do start in an in-house role in an attraction, you don't always necessarily have to be paying the large fees to like videographers and photographers, because sometimes the way it kind of rolls is things happen on the park and you don't have time to schedule it, or set up a shoot with someone, maybe like a freelancer. You don't have that time. You need to literally physically pick it up, get out there quick, get the content. So having that kind of, even if it is just basic, I'm not amazing with video and photography, to be honest, but it's something that I've learned and it's kind of progressed over time. So that kind of thing is quite important. Just get out there as much as you can as well, and really like I say, brand yourself, and really sell yourself is important. Give yourself something unique to talk about.
Wow, that's brilliant. Well, unfortunately, that does bring us to the end of today's episode. So, as always, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
This is where you do it as well.
It's goodbye from me.
And yes, it is. And thank you so much for coming on, Danielle. It's been really good. We've really enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, oh no, I wrote it down as well.
You could give me a new title if you like.